Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Chris and welcome back to a brand new Sonic video where today I'm going to be discussing if Shadow is needed for a Sonic movie sequel to be successful. So without further ado, let's get started. So if you didn't know, the other day I got a request on one of my videos to check out this article from CBR.com and get my thoughts on it. Now this article was written by Edward Wilshire and the link will be in the description below, but it's titled "If a Sonic the Hedgehog sequel wants to succeed, it needs Shadow." So I read the article and a quick rundown is that he talks about how the Sonic movie has been one of the most successful video game movie adaptations made, surpassing $300 million worldwide, which is very impressive because as mentioned in one of my previous videos, there was a closing of theaters due to COVID-19, and the film did not release in China, which is the second biggest market for movies. He goes on to say that for a Sonic the Hedgehog sequel to work and become an even bigger hit with all audiences, it needs to move away from the world and some of the live-action characters established in the first movie, with the exception of James Marsden's character and of course Jim Carrey's Robotnik, and essentially replace them with fan-favorite characters from the video game series, and that Shadow the Hedgehog could be exactly what makes a Sonic the Hedgehog sequel outdo the first movie. Edward also explains how this is possible as in the final scene and post-credit scene of the movie, it hints that in a sequel, Tails could be in a major role and that Robotnik will be brought back, so the door could be wide open for any of the Sonic series supporting characters to be introduced, as it seems that it will embrace some of the more cartoonish aspects of the games. However, while there are plenty of Sonic series characters who could appear in a Sonic the Hedgehog sequel, he says that Shadow brings the most possibilities. For one, he could establish a new villain that would be a direct rival to Sonic. Shadow would create a more serious tone that would be balanced with the lighter characters of Sonic and Tails, and he would allow a sequel to reach a wider audience with its more mature elements. So overall, I think that the article is very well done from a literature perspective, and I do agree with the idea that a sequel will move away from the live-action Earth setting, become more like the games, and add more fan-favorite characters. But I do also agree with him that Shadow would make the sequel a much bigger hit financially, as he is a huge fan-favorite character in the franchise and one of my personal favorite characters. But only that, I think that Shadow's overall presence and design could intrigue newcomers, and as he mentions, a wider audience to the series to watch a sequel. However, I don't think the movie needs Shadow to work or to make the sequel a success, as while I know that so many of you guys want to see him in a Sonic movie too, I still think that it's a bit too early to introduce his entire storyline. Which if you didn't know, and I'm going to try to simplify this as much as possible, is where Shadow was created as the ultimate life form by Gerald Robotnik by using the DNA of Black Doom, and is the end result of Project Shadow. His purpose was to provide ways to develop a cure for incurable deadly diseases which Maria Robotnik had, but he was captured and put into stasis by the military when he was deemed a threat to humanity. But some 50 years later, Shadow was released by Dr. Eggman in order to help him with his plan to conquer the world, and initially Shadow lost his memories and as such sought to uncover the truth of his past and worked with Dr. Eggman. However, he secretly sought to destroy the planet in order to avenge Maria, who had been killed by the military. But in the end, Shadow regained his memories, uncovered the truth, and saved the world from Black Doom, which fulfilled Maria's wish for him to help those on Earth. Now this does actually kind of fit with the setting of the movie being on Earth and the government, but we still haven't even been fully introduced to Tails. As far as I know, we haven't even seen a glimpse of Knuckles yet, and Robotnik is still on the Mushroom Planet. So it seems that in my opinion, that Shadow isn't a character that the directors or writers have been thinking of introducing yet, as they haven't even talked or hinted at his storyline in the movie or in interviews. But what they have teased in the movie and in interviews is a sequel of Sonic, Tails, and possibly Knuckles, which I think will easily be able to be a bigger success at the box office compared to the first movie, and they would still be able to tell a good natural story as the first movie has already set these storylines up. So overall, I don't think we need Shadow for the Sonic movie 2 to be a success or to work, and while I do want to see Shadow in a Sonic movie, I just don't think it should be the sequel, as I think his presence would absolutely boost the box office, but hinder and cram the story. So I view it as a double-edged sword, but as mentioned in my previous video, I would rather have him appear later down the road, or if this universe does well in its own spin-off movie. Also, if any of you guys wanted to know who I'd want to voice Shadow in a movie, and I've agreed with a lot of your suggestions, as one casting idea that I've seen a lot and I like is Keanu Reeves, who I think did a great job voice acting in Toy Story 4, or possibly Adam Driver, who I think was the best part of the new Star Wars trilogy, and I think that both of them can pull off Shadow's dark and serious persona. So without further ado, that is going to wrap it up for today's Sonic video on does the Sonic movie 2 need Shadow to be successful? So don't forget to go leave your thoughts on this topic in the comment section below, and big thanks to Jimmy Michael for the video suggestion. But I'd also like to thank all my viewers out there, as we are so close to 7,000 subscribers and I can't thank you guys enough for the support. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to go and leave a like. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.